General Sir Nick Carter, head of the UK's armed forces, has expressed serious concern that the Belarus-Poland migrant situation could lead to conflict as thousands of migrants face torturous conditions. Britain has sent in troops to help Warsaw cope with the weaponized migrants trying to get into the EU. Thousands of migrants from countries including Iraq and Syria are being flown to Belarus, reportedly under the promise of easy entry into the EU, and then shown the way to the Polish border where they are met by barbed wire fences and soldiers. The situation at the Poland-Belarus border has become increasingly worrying as thousands of migrants are trapped in freezing conditions and at least 7 people have died. EU leaders fear a repeat of the 2015 migrant crisis as Belarus and Russia threaten to spark a crisis across the continent. Speaking on BBC's Andrew Marr show, General Sir Nick Carter was asked if he was concerned the situation could escalate and become something really serious. "Yes, I think I am," he said. "I think this is a classic case of the sort of hybrid playbook where you link disinformation to destabilization, and the idea of pushing migrants onto the European Union's borders is a classic example of that sort of thing," Putin said on a state TV channel. "We are ready to help it by all means, if of course anything would depend on us." According to the latest satellite analysis, there are more Russian troops stationed on the border with Ukraine than the entire British army. Rohit Kakroo, ITV's global security editor, said that the latest images showed tens of thousands of ground military forces, tanks and armored personnel carriers. The latest analysis from the Ukrainian government showed nearly 100,000 Russian soldiers near Ukraine's border, compared to the 82,230 regular full-time personnel in the British Army. 600 British troops from the Special Air Service, SAS, and the Parachute Regiment have been warned they could be sent into the country with just a few hours' notice. Last week, Belarus leader Alexander Lukashenko suggested he could cut supplies of gas to Europe via a major pipeline, as the Belarusian leader could retaliate against any new EU sanctions imposed in response to the crisis at the Poland-Belarus border. Foreign Secretary Liz Truss called Lukashenko shameful for flying migrants over for illegal crossings to Poland, an act of retaliation against EU sanctions. That has led Poland's Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki to consider triggering NATO's involvement. In an article for the Sunday Telegraph, she also said, "The United Kingdom will not look away. We will stand with our allies in the region, who are on the frontier of freedom." Last week, UN High Commissioner for Human Rights Michelle Bachelet said, "I am appalled that large numbers of migrants and refugees continue to be left in a desperate situation in near freezing temperatures on the Belarus-Poland border."